Hi, okay, so today I would really like to make a video about signs of sexual abuse in children, teenagers, and the aftermath in adults. Okay, so let's start with the children. I'm going to tell you right now that these signs are a little triggering, and if you're watching this to look for signs for your children, I will tell you right now, get a notebook, write down the signs that resonate. And if it's like more than 3, I would say take them to a clinic, pediatrician, have them checked out, get them maybe a counseling session, have them, because it'll be a stranger and they'll think the stranger can keep their secret, right? Usually these kids are told to keep it as a secret, and because it's like that, they're disconnected. The trust is broken. They don't trust themselves. If they tell on this person, the person most likely told them they'll get in trouble, right? So this child is trying to keep someone safe if they are keeping a secret. And if everything seems to lead to that, I do suggest getting a lawyer before even talking to the predator. Because in my experience, I dressed a predator and he told everyone I was crazy, a drunk, and yeah, it's a battle now. Okay? Just in my direct experience, do not address the predator. They are manipulators. Look at what they did to the child, if this is one, okay? Proceed with caution. Watch this alone. Grab a tissue box, because I had to say this out loud 3 times before I could make this video. It was a tough day today, okay? Let's go. So, these children, like, the first sign usually will be erratic behavior, attention seeking, loud, wreak havoc, destroy things, hits other kids in school, acts out so hard. Like, why are you acting like this? What is even triggering this? They don't feel safe. And they have to keep a secret that they probably forgot about the day after, right? A lot of adults and children, I will say about the memory thing, I didn't remember my sexual abuse as a child until someone looked me in the eyes, my auntie, and she's like, you had such a rough life, like things that those people did to you. And it just all shot back in like a matter of 24 hours. So no one remembers their sexual abuse, not even the day after for these little children. They're in survivor mode already, okay? So yeah, that's gonna be a thing right there. They can't explain it to you. They don't understand. They're very, very little. They had their voice taken away from them, okay? All right, so they are flirty and they're kind of sexual. It's really weird. And sometimes, I'm gonna say this from my direct experience, the predator will start talking about their sexuality. I think he's gay. That's what I found weird after I healed my mental health was, wait, why was he telling me he's gay? Why is he so interested in his sexuality? Because at first I was like agreeing with him. I'm like, well, he is pretty feminine and he does like boys. That's not normal. I wish I knew the signs of sexual abuse in the past, okay? Yeah, so, and little girls, if they're trying to show off their belly and getting like all awkward and weird, these might be signs of sexual abuse, or they're seeing someone behave this way, right? Proceed with caution and watch who your children are around. Okay, so, oh, sorry, someone said, we're not looking at messages today. Okay, so another one that seems weird is they seem really insecure. They don't want to change in front of anyone, not even their babysitter. Or else after their babysitters, they like take all their clothes off just for the potty. That's a big sign. Someone goes to the bathroom with them and like makes them take their stuff off, okay? That's not normal. That's a huge indicator for me. Usually when children aren't told to take their clothes off by an adult, they probably just pull their pants down and go to the bathroom. But some children take them all off and they'll stand there and they'll wait for you to tell them what to do. Okay? Nightmares, sleeping issues, no explanation. Hard time going to bed, does not want to go to bed. Resistant, makes excuses to come talk to you. I suggest instead of putting them in timeout in their room and locking in their room, you go lay with them and read them a book and make them feel safe again. They need this. They need that connection. We need to nurture the parts of them that don't feel connected. And I'm going to tell you right now, something about this is we reincarnate. I know the world is getting really deep into spirit now, and this is 100% true. That's why sometimes you meet children who say, I knew you. You were my grandson, or I've been here before. This is true. They just forget their memory because they've been abused and been conditioned and compromised so much in the first few years of their lives. They're really wise souls. They've been here thousands and thousands of times. Some children's memories are so vivid, they'll tell you stories, right? So having nightmares, having all this stuff, and you are literally with your child all the time, like they're never alone, and you know that their father or mother wouldn't do this, they probably need to go like do some inner spiritual healing. The past life trauma is a thing, especially if the child was born into a well-to-do life, okay? A very safe life, nearly sheltered, right? If this isn't a possibility, look into past life healing, okay? Your child really needs that, or else it could get worse as an adult. I just thought I'd throw that in there because some of this stuff could be reoccurring nightmares of a past life. Okay, let's move along. The child seems distracted, distant, disconnected, disassociates a lot, stuff like that, okay? Or just like, they'll be sitting there, huh? And they just tune in to what you're saying. Right? They disconnect because they have to disassociate to feel safe in that situation that's happening to them, okay? A sudden change in eating habits, trouble swallowing, refuses to eat sometimes, or decreased appetite, something like this, or else they can't stop eating. This is all like, if there's extreme behaviors in eating, pay attention. That could lead to some kind of trauma. This doesn't all, like one of these doesn't have to be sexual abuse. It has to be a few of these things. And if you feel like something's off, if your body, your mind, and everything, if something seems off with your child, address it. No child is born like this. This is not normal, especially with the physical symptoms when you hear them. Okay, so they develop a fear of certain people, places, things. It's triggering for them. There's something going on here. Why don't they want to go to uncle's house? Why do they want to stay, like they're actually like right in front of the person that's probably doing it. They're like freaking out like, no, please, please, please let me go with you. It's not because they miss you. It's because that person's going to do something to them. Pay attention. Find a new babysitter, or else let work know, like, my child doesn't feel safe. If you lose your job, honestly, I'm the type, if I lose my job over it, I would. Yeah, these are, like, if you have all of these signs so far, that's something that's worth losing a job for. I won't lie. Has a secret they won't share, and they tell you it's a secret with someone, and they make it seem funny, flirty, but that's not good. No one should be telling them to keep secrets. No. Big no. When they start drawing really freaky pictures or triggering images, like it could be nightmares, demons, this is what they're seeing when someone invades their privacy and violates them. They're opening them up to something else. This adult has stolen their innocence. Or else they're like, yeah, just, this child could also be drawing things that they want to do to the person, and or what they envision, right? Or, this is gonna sound weird, but I just got an intuitive download. They could be drawing things that portray the feeling of betrayal. Say they draw the family massacre. The family didn't protect me, and he drew mass murder. It's not that he wants to murder anyone, it's that he's angry. She's angry, she's hurting. Okay? Get that looked at. That means that there needs to be some therapy or some something to look at. Okay. They talk a little too much about a new person or older adult suddenly. Do you think so-and-so would like this? Should we get so-and-so that? And you're like, what's your fascination, buddy? What's going on? I just really like them. So when you're a child, and I'm going to say something triggering, I'm just going to warn you right now, it's about pleasure. The child experiences pleasure when the person's doing this, and the person gives them toys and promises them things, and they have an attachment now. All they feel is that person, because that person's taking something from them. They're taking their innocence, and that's all they feel. That's all they think about, okay? Pay attention to this sign. This one's, unless they really love that person, but if they keep mentioning this person and it's getting weird to you, look at the other signs, okay? These are things people would never think about. It was interesting to find all of these, and with my past experience, excuse me, I seen children exude all of these. Okay. Yeah, they're suddenly spoiled by someone 24/7. They're favored, actually. If the person's always picking them up alone, and they don't need to. They take this one child everywhere. They never take the children at the same time if you have multiple children. Huge red flag, okay? They behave like a baby suddenly. All of a sudden they retreat. They start sucking their thumb. They start talking like a baby. They start wanting, like, peeing themselves, like they need to potty train at 5 again, or they're having accidents at school a lot. Pay attention, okay? Something's triggering the dysfunction in their genitalia, right? Okay. So physical warning signs. If this might get uncomfortable for some of you, just a trigger warning. Pain. They keep telling you about pain down there, and they can't explain why. They don't understand. There's no memory connected to it because they were told it's a secret, and that by someone that loves them, okay? Discoloration. It's red or it's brown because there's friction down there. Think about it. When you're sexually active, your genitalia changes from a light color to more of a pigmented color. When you start shaving your armpits, it starts getting more pigmented. Discoloration is not a good sign. Your baby can't shave their own vagina. There's no reason to be extra rubbing down there. Okay? There might be spotting or something, even when there's no one and it's just you all day, like out of nowhere they're spotting. They might have moved wrong and cut something on the inside, okay? So be careful about that. Discharge. Discharge of any kind that they've never had before, out of nowhere, after a new babysitter, after starting hanging out with the uncle, after hanging out a little too much with the stepdad. Right? Pay attention. Yeast infections, if they're happening frequently, fuck no. I'm going to tell you that right now. You get yeast infections if you're sexually active, if you're using tampons, if you have toys. That's how you get yeast infections. There's interaction. Dirty hands. Okay? Foreign objects in the body. I hate saying this. It's a trigger warning. I warned you. See, this is why I had to like redo this 3 times. Okay, let's keep going. Persistent and reoccurring pain during urination. Like all of a sudden, ow, 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 ow. There's some kind of something in there bothering them, okay? Some kind of irritation. Wetting and soiling outside of potty training. Say they're already potty trained and they're wetting the bed again. A lot of people disconnect when they're children, like 10 years old, wetting the bed, 12 years old, wetting the bed. These children are being sexually abused. Their body is telling you. These are all warning signs. Okay? You know, it's the bedwetting. I tried looking up other things just to help you add symptoms if you don't have any of these and it's just bedwetting. They could have PTSD about something, right? But take this as a warning sign. Bedwetting is not normal. Our body heals itself. Unless they have some kind of condition where they're on the spectrum or something and this is a side effect. Really pay attention, okay? I want to smash my head with a hammer when I read these symptoms because I wish I seen them. I wish I knew them, actually. I wish I knew them. Remember, don't address the predator as I'm reading this. I know it's going to trigger some people. Stay calm. So they have a lot of trouble with potty training. They're having all these problems and you're thinking like maybe it's just my baby's organs. It's not. Your baby was born perfectly healthy in that way. This is not normal. They shouldn't be struggling to potty train. And something else I wanted to mention, if it's a boy or like maybe a girl too, if there's weird things going on, boys will have loose bowels. And I don't have to explain any further. Loose bowels build up around the tip of the head. Pay attention. Their memory is really bad. They're disconnected and they're also attention seeking. These are very outward symptoms. Very bad memory. Very disconnected. Okay? So next, let's move on to teenagers. 15 minutes in. Okay. So something that is immediate is mental health issues, depression, suicide, self-harm, running away, just outrageous. If you think it's not a possibility, again, be there for them. Stop resisting. Stop telling your child they're evil, bad. Your child's in pain, okay, about something, and we got to stop sending them to institutions or juvenile places where there's actual sexual abuse. Secret, okay? But the world is starting to wake up about this stuff, and it's really good. It's really good that people are starting to be more aware of these beautiful, rich places actually abusing the children being sent there, okay? So inadequate personal hygiene. Your teenager, your grade schooler really doesn't give a shit about washing their hair. They smell, they don't care. They're disconnected from giving a fuck about themselves, honestly. And it's horrible to see. Promiscuous or just like too sexual for their age, dressing really weird, wanting to show off their body. Like, how come you want to look like Britney Spears with big boobs? How come you want to wear a thong at 9? If there's not possible sexual abuse, pay attention to what they're watching. Someone could be showing them porn, another child. This is something I noticed in my son. Another child was showing him things like this, and it was kind of taking his innocence. Actually, it was. Porn takes innocence away. It's another form of sexual triggering, right? It takes innocence away. Porn steals energy. That's why people get addicted. Validation. Okay. So they run away a lot. This could be a thing. They run away, or they don't want to talk, or they shut down. There's something going on here. They really abuse drugs and alcohol at an early age. If you know you weren't physically like hitting your child or screaming at them, like I know parents are aware when they do this. They think about it like, okay, you know what, I'm a little hard on my kid. If that's not happening and you're having troubles with your child, they're scared to tell you something. They don't remember that there's sexual abuse. Get to know your children. It's really hard to do that when it's this far gone and maybe the child doesn't trust. But this can help people gain awareness about their grade school and teen children, right? Teen pregnancy could be a thing too. That's obvious. If they are sexually active young, they'll most likely get pregnant at a young age. Okay. Scared of intimacy and closeness. Don't want to hug, don't touch me. Like, they're very guarded. That's how they act. Like, don't touch me. No, I don't like when people even tap my leg. Don't do that. Very guarded. Ew, why are you acting like that? Ew, why are you hugging me? This is things they'll do. They do not like intimacy, just like a young woman who's strong and independent exudes the same behavior, okay? Strong, independent, guarded, actually. Not independent, guarded. You're actually really trapped inside self and insecurity when you have this. Compulsive eating or dieting could have anorexia, stuff like this. If your child had these symptoms in childhood and as a teenager and you just think they're like a bad kid, you should maybe look a little deeper. It's always the people you never suspect. It's always the people you never suspect. Okay? Especially if it's a stepchild. Okay, so let's move on to adults. I kind of jumbled them together, so it'll start with general adults. It could be like females. I would kind of categorize the females, and then men, of course, but I will get more into like how some narcissists are created, okay? Okay, so effects of childhood sexual abuse in adulthood. You might feel shame, guilt, even blame yourself for it, especially if there was a possible experience of pleasure. Of course, you're gonna feel shameful. You're gonna actually not be able to embrace sexuality. Sexuality in movies are gonna make you so uncomfortable. Like, you're gonna see people making out and you're gonna be like, you can't handle it, especially if it's PDA. Or else you could also be, or else you could be polar opposite and just like don't give a fuck. Like, you were shown acting this and behaving this sexual way was accepted and approved of. Over sexual, or just it gives you chills and you can't. Like, you need warning about intimacy. Before I healed, I could, like, my cousin would poke my leg when she was talking. I hated it. I just wanted to fucking slap her. Like, don't like when people touch me by surprise. Stop touching me. It's disgusting. Even if it's just a poke on the leg. No, thank you. Sorry, that triggered me. Touch is not comfortable. Okay, so okay. Problems with relationships, intimacy. Getting close to someone is a hard thing to do after being sexually abused, or this is about sexual abuse, so I'm just not going to make other examples. Getting close to someone after experiencing sexual abuse, even if you don't remember it or you think you healed from it because you took therapy, talking about it doesn't heal. You actually have to do energy work. You have to meditate. You have to do a lot of stuff to release this from your body. Relationships, you will fear being left, and I'll get more into that, but I'm just going to pinpoint these and I'll explain more because I have the chakras and how they're affected. Physical symptoms, I won't get into chakras because some people are not into them, but when you hear the side effects of these being closed and shut and not operating, you'll understand. Okay, so struggle to set boundaries with anyone. People pleasers, you do too much, you're easily taken advantage of. But even though that may happen, you get stepped on, you turn two-faced about it. You start talking shit about that person. Some people turn into that. Some people end up saying, yeah, I did all of this for her and she just like fucking shit on me. There's a lot of people who do that and they don't even realize that. Or else you could go completely quiet when rejected. You completely ghost that person because you're ashamed that you didn't get their approval. These are all symptoms. There's a wide variety, but I just want to really expand because it's not just one specific type of symptom. It's not just one personality that has this. There's so many people out there that have sexual like trauma and they don't even know it because their memory is so good at protecting them. Okay? So, low self-esteem, personal identity invalid. Stay quiet. This is what they were told the whole time. No. You love me. You have to protect me. Low self-esteem, giving your power away. Make sense? Okay. This could affect the career, health. I'll explain health after, and relationships again. Fear of speaking the truth. Fear, and even if you're able to speak your truth, if someone tells you opposing opinion or response, you'll backtrack and you'll be like, oh, I can see that. Yeah, for sure. Your truth was taken from you. Okay, so this can lead into narcissism and turning manipulative and codependent, player slut, and we'll explain why. Excuse me. Oh, every time I make videos, guys, stop. I'm talking to me, myself, and I, and burping, sorry. Okay. So, emotionally disconnected, controlling, runs from love. As soon as someone feels like they're getting too close to someone, they'll ghost that person for like a week or two, and then they'll come back when they feel like it's clear, they don't have those feelings anymore. Hey, what's up? That's the... what do people say? What you doing? Text at 3 a.m, 2 weeks later. This person actually probably really feels a connection to the person he's texting, but getting close to someone, the last time their little spirit felt that, because when we're sexually abused, we stop growing at that age. Our emotional capacity doesn't go any further. There was so much distress that the nerves, it's like Okay, it's like my hair. Or, no, it's like rope, okay? You burn the rope, it's done there. There's no more. We can repair this, and I'll get to it after, okay? All right. Growth stops there. That's why there's no room for emotional capacity, okay? Okay. Scared to share anything. If a man ever gets close to a woman, you'll notice these type of energies, players and stuff, they'll share very surface things with you, like, oh yeah, like I had a rough childhood and my dad hit my mom. They won't ever talk about what happened to them directly. They'll talk about their life around them, but they won't ever touch base inside them, okay? They're scared to share due to shame, judgment, especially if it was a man that did it to them. Like if this is a guy, I'll give you a guy example. If it was a man that did it to them and they experienced pleasure from what the man was doing to them, shameful. They're really confused about their sexuality. They probably secretly have affairs with men or like watch gay porn. This is a big sign. Don't judge them for it. This is a big sign of abuse, okay? Really confused sexuality. There's no shame in it. I will tell you guys something. Naturally, our spirit has no gender. That's why some women are really masculine, but they're straight. And that's why some men so feminine, but wouldn't touch a man. There's bisexual people. There's no shame in that. I'm one, and I have no shame in it. It's probably due to the sexual abuse I had as a child, but I've learned to love myself, and I don't really pursue women. I'm more into like the other side of the fence. It doesn't matter though. I'm just saying this to make you feel comfortable. There's no issues with sexuality, especially if you do find interest in men. Right now, it's really accepted, okay? Oh, another thing about that, men will express extreme homophobia outwardly, or else say they have a child. They will, sorry, I said no messages. Okay, so they will express extreme hatred towards homophobia because they've experienced it and it's shameful to them. And they can't understand how someone can embrace that, okay? The connection just isn't there for them. And then what else was I gonna say? They'll get, oh, okay, I'm gonna read some signs of the predator to you at the very end. We'll get through all this first, okay? All right, and then, so super freaky about sex, wants outrageous sexual acts, no limits, probably into like BDSM, kink, and wants you to do painful things because someone did painful things to them and it felt really good after a while, okay? Or else they want to project their sexual frustration onto someone weaker because they were the weak one at one point and they want to have power over someone, okay? If you are noticing these about an adult man or woman around you, don't address them. Leave them alone. They feel shame right now and they'll heal when they're ready. And if you're watching this and you notice this is you, there's no pressure. Don't let anyone pressure you into talking about this. And if you feel uncomfortable, you have every right to stop talking to that person who's like, talk to me about your feelings. It's overwhelming. Tell them to get the fuck out. Okay? You're protected. Okay, so yeah, may secretly like or be curious about the same gender, probably already explored the same gender or explores a lot. Okay? It's nothing to gossip about either. Always cheating. Someone who's being sexually abused, they might have issues with always cheating, always looking for validation in a bunch of people. They're too close of intimacy with one single relationship, so they do a few little connections to get the validation, but it's never going to be enough, and they're going to be seeking forever. They're never going to be fulfilled, and they're going to break a lot of hearts. And to be honest, they're going to break their heart a lot because they're probably going to fall in love with one of these people, and they've ruined it forever. Okay? Okay, so that's really specific. I don't want to say that one. Okay, we'll skip that one. Makes fun of, yeah, homosexuals, strongly opinionated about them. Has really disturbing things to say about someone. They're probably also like sleeping with that homosexual if it's a small town. I'm just going to tell you right now. They're hiding their shame. Don't judge them. Again, leave them alone. Okay, so... Okay, so the thing about having a lot of partners to fill the void, this could go for men and women, feels empowered. Oh yeah, all these people want me. Seems like they really embody their sexual energy. Really, they're giving it away. When you have a lot of partners, you're fucking drained and you think you're gonna fill it with more people. You're just like an energy drain yourself. It's kind of hard to live like that. Trust me. Trust me. It's a conquest for validation, and they never succeed. They just actually broke up. They actually end up with more broken hearts. And sometimes these people will sleep with their best friends' partners, or they'll like secretly want to conquer all their friends' partners. They'll hit on them, overly sexual jokes about everything. Like, it's almost awkward. Like, it's weird to hang out with this person after a certain point. Like, okay, too drunk, they're doing their thing again, I'm gonna take you home, I don't like this. Girls are like this too, okay? So this one, okay, the way I wrote it is a little confusing. I wrote it down intuitively from memory. Long-term relationships feel powerless due to long-term abuse. It creates fear of closeness. That makes sense. Was that the one I was just getting weird about? Oh, I read 2 different sentences. Okay, it's a lot of writing, guys. Like, there's 3-4 pages here. Okay. Yeah. Fear of closeness. Like, they can't do long-term. These people might meet someone who does long-term, but they probably manifested someone with the same abuse, and it just traumatized them. They're like, they're just as fucked up as I am. It didn't work out. But, you know, sometimes people leave to heal. Separate is elevation. So if you meet someone who actually sparked that fire inside of you, that actually is like, you know, I kind of want to put this to rest and figure out what's wrong with me, this could happen, okay? There's no lost hope with this energy. I just want to encourage whoever's experiencing this right now. Okay. Oh, right here, abused by female. Barely happened because the females don't abuse daily or weekly like the men do. Might see sex as a sexual opportunity and feel overpowered by that woman. So now, as I said, they want to overpower a bunch of women, okay? Also, this could go for females. They see sex as opportunity, okay? Dependent on drugs and drinking, like might have secret addictions or issues with addictions, and everyone just always thinks they're just fucked up like that. They're just a cokehead. They're trying to kill something inside them, just so you know. That should be obvious. Also, something about that is the abuser might have gave them weed to loosen their senses, or if they're a teenager, they might have had them drink and then did things, right? Or 12 years old, some people will do that. It's weird, guys. The creepy things like the predators is so wild. Excuse me. And might become abusive. Might actually become physically abusive with women around them or their children, okay? This is to release the anger pent up inside them. It's like their 5-year-old self again, where they're screaming at the kids in school. They're screaming at the people closest to them now. This can build a narcissist, just so you know. They have so much damage, but they don't remember what the fuck happened. They know what happened, but not how often. They didn't know it was like every weekend, right? Kids have kids disassociate from memory, right? Okay, physical symptoms for adults, teenagers. Frequent headaches, like migraines too, like overpowering, choking sensations. You know how people are like choking on water down the wrong pipe, or spit. Oh, I choked on my spit. Certain sensory memories, smell, anything, they can make you nauseous, or you just don't like it and you don't know why. You might have had this around you during that time when you were a little child. Who knows, right? This could be also go for any trauma, anything that happened. It's good to journal and write down like what triggers you about it. And one day you might write down a memory that was disturbing or frightful, okay? So very blurry vision. You could have 20/20 vision, but you wouldn't know that because everything's really blurry. Oh, I have my contacts in. I just need this for the light. I don't know why. Okay, anyway. Floating sensation. Like always just feeling real light. Not there, loose. Slouching a lot. No confidence with the posture. It means you're not grounded. You're not connected, okay? Sudden pains in genitals. Having issues with yeast infections, stuff like that. BVI, like bacterial vagina infection, or bacteria, I don't know what it is, like some kind of constant reoccurring thing for females. Some people it might be other things, but sometimes it's connected to this deep-rooted stuff. Buttocks and back pain, stomach issues. You could have issues with eating. You could have trouble losing weight, or you might have an eating disorder like anorexia, or just binge eating, stuff like this. Pay attention to your body, okay? And to figure out how to know if this is your situation, you really need to get a journal. You really need to write this down. Okay, what else here? So, okay, so I want to read you some quotes that help children and adults disconnect. And these quotes, when you hear them as adults, you might not like similar sentences might freak you out. You know you liked it. This tells the child, I didn't like it and I didn't feel safe, but I love them and they liked it, so I like it. Creates shame, and it disconnects identity. They don't know what they feel. They're being told what they feel. This is our secret, being told, if you tell anyone, I'll go to jail. They'll get really mad at me, and it's our little secret. We have so much fun. This destroys a child, okay? This is why these children forget these things. We do it because we love each other. That's what people do when they love each other. And they're like 2 or 3, you know? It's pretty wild. We lose our voice, like we lose our confidence with this, right? And they'll get spoiled with things like, you make me so happy when you do this. Like, you're making me really happy. If you love me, you'll do this. Stuff like that. It's really disturbing, guys. Okay, so let's talk about the chakras and how they're affected by sexual abuse. Oh, I didn't say what time the adults started. 15 for teenager, I don't know. I'll figure out the time for the adults. Okay. So root is directly connected to genitalia. This is directly affected. This is the ability to feel grounded, safe, and it's also connected to money. If you're not grounded, it's like, sorry, my nose ring, my diamonds aren't showing. Solar plex, sacral, and root. They're connected to money. If you're grounded, you're abundant, you're connected. Your energy is currency, it's flowing, you're good. This is not going to make sense to some people. It's going to sound like yada yada blah blah. I'm going to sound like the teacher off of Charlie Brown, okay? But I'm going to keep going and just try and be really not so confusing about it. Okay. So this is the ability to feel secure in our body. The root is like where your butt is, okay? It's just an energy chakra there. The base of the spine. Our ability to access any of these are compromised when the root is not strong. You can be accident prone, clumsy, breaks more bones than the usual person. Everything feels alarming, like seeing the yellow light and you're like, you still have time, but you're like, or you're panicking, or you drop a pencil and you scream and you go grab it. That is someone with not a connected root chakra. This could be, I'm not saying all of these are sexual abuse. If you only have one of these that don't work, it could be just, you know, it's been closed and you need to open it. But if every single one of these is closed and you noticed you lived like this, it could be a sign. There could be something going on there, okay? All right, and then when the root chakra is closed, you live in a constant state of survival, now operating as a survivor. Closed, you weren't safe. You're not able to feel you. You're not able to access safety, right? Okay. Sacral is our emotions, creativity, sensuality, sexuality, adaptability. Makes an extreme empath, because when your abuser was abusing you, or if we're just gonna say this, so I'll make another video about how chakras are affected by just general childhood abuse, okay? This one's about sexual abuse, so you're here for a reason. All right. You are taught to feel what they're feeling. You know how it said, you make me so happy when I do this. We do this because we love each other. You know you like when I do this. You're being told when this is happening that you have to feel what they feel, okay? Disconnected from self. It does create a big empath. Okay, not grounded, connected, not protected, no boundaries. There's a lot of shame, there's a lot of self-blame. Can make it a self-destructive, hypersexual behavior. Seems like active expression about sexuality, but this is connected to feelings of unworthiness. Handing yourself to people continuously over and over. Loose is what people call it, slutty. This is a sign of a closed sacral. There's no empowerment. There's no feeling self. You want to give yourself to others and you feel others way too much, okay? That's a sign of sexual abuse in adults as well. Okay, so navel, solar plexus. This is personal power, identity. Oh, I'm just going to fold it because I'm getting confused. It's tiny, tiny writing, guys. Okay, so identity, confidence. When broken, a person is struggling to get by in the world. This is where the poverty comes from. This is where why the fuck does nothing work out for me comes from, you know? But okay, you know what, after, we'll talk after. I'm just gonna finish this. Okay. Cycles of abuse or addiction, again, lives in survivor mode. These three bottom roots are three bottom chakras are directly connected, okay? They're all linked together. When these two aren't open, it's probably because the root's not grounded. All right. Survivors often develop exceptional intellectual and organizational skills. The need for order. Only thing they can control is how clean their house is and how good they look. Neat freak men. Women, sometimes they can be sloppy and self-pitying, you know, or they need someone to take care of them. Okay, sometimes, or else you can have a really prim and proper woman, ship-shape computer personality. Okay, but if you get really close to them, they're really fun. I've met someone like this. They're really fun when you get close to them. Okay, great personalities. You guys are not boring. Okay, and you're safe. Just so you know, you're safe now. Okay, all right. Control freaks, super clean, overachiever. A lot of these people, when they don't have a grounded root chakra, or they don't feel safe, or they don't realize they have this trauma, they just naturally think, I'm a fucking overachiever. This is where a lot of felons come from. They can become really good scam artists, okay? Really fucking conniving, and they make good money because of it. Or else they just end up building $1 million business, $1 billion business. They're so disconnected from self, they have to prove to other people and not themselves how amazing they are. Good for them though, props, right? Look how good they're doing compared to the person that did this to them. Big fuck you in the face. And I just gotta say, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy, but let's talk about this for now. Sorry, I just want to comfort people. I'm sorry. So distracting. Hyper independent, but secretly lonely and exhausted. Will never communicate this to anyone. They'll never tell anyone they're lonely. They'll just find a new lay. Okay? Okay, so heart is, oh, hang on. Okay, so that was navel. Oh, I didn't read sacral. Hiding feelings about abuse. This is how it closed. The ones I'm reading in the back, like when I flip over and I read the end, sacral, they had to hide their feelings about abuse, so it's closed. That's why the sacral's closed. It was shut down right away. Shut up. This is mine. And I'm going to take it because I want to and you love me. That's what they hear forever for the rest of their lives, okay? It's a subconscious thing. Things sit in the subconscious. It's in the backlog. And then solar plexus, navel. It closed because overpowering situation. Victimize. Can't take accountability, okay? Is that what? I think that's what, yeah, victimized a lot. This closed it. They really were a victim though, but in adulthood they don't realize. Okay, so let's keep going. Throat chakra is the, heart disconnected, can't accept love, easily hurt, very disconnected, but so hurt as soon as someone doesn't accept their love. Does that make sense? Okay, so throat chakra is the ability to communicate, speak truth, and be authentic. Survivors often develop survival mode again, okay? Their voice was taken away from their innocence was taken away. They can't speak their truth. They can't communicate properly. Filtering or checking speech. Attempts to feel out what someone wants them to say out of fear. Does not want to trigger a negative response. Will alter opinions. Swings between over and under expression of self. Insecurity collects here. This is where insecurity is. It's, yes, once again, throat chakra, told to be quiet. The trust is broken, the innocence is gone, invalidated. It didn't matter whether they told someone because they were told that it wasn't safe to, right? Their voice was taken away. Okay, third eye, the brow chakra, right here. If it's active, it tingles, you have visions, your intuition is strong. Even then, you can still be connected and have sexual abuse, okay? You're probably more connected, if anything. I know I was. Okay, so not directly impacted, but can be impacted. Can be disassociative. Survivor can seek to escape into dream worlds, astral dimensions, and pure imagination in such a way it's dysfunctional. Chasing the dream, okay? Basis for the creative. Oh my goodness, I cannot. Hang on one second, guys. I gotta take a look here. Creative. Addiction. Okay. I'm sorry. Chasing the euphoria, okay? So there's two sides to this one. I'll explain the other one. Can be a raver, like escapes. This stuff feels good. They've discovered it and it feels good. But they were probably offered drugs at a young age. You know what I mean? Addiction. Yeah. Displayed as a raver. Mega or overly spiritual, almost to the point where they won't tolerate anything else. It's a safe escape. Fear of, and then also, okay, so there's also where it's closed off completely. This is extreme abuse, and this could be emotional abuse included with the sexual abuse. This is a severe case. Fear of surrendering into non-intellectual, scientific, proven. Spirituality is science, and there's books on it now, and there's like, it's getting out there that there's proof. I just got ringing in my ear. That's cool. It's a go, guys. But for a lot of people, no, it's just a Bible thing. It's really not. But you know, it's non-intellectual. I didn't learn it in school. Give a fuck. You know what I mean? Okay, so fear of unknown. Doesn't want to see visions. Doesn't think spirituality, spiritual realm is fucked up. Ghosts freak them out. Everything like that freaks them out. No connection to higherness. Disclosed from spiritual experience. Cannot receive higher connection. Man, I wish my intuitive writing wasn't so fucking chicken scratched. Holy. So there could be migraines and pain at the base of the skull because of this if it's disconnected. Being connected ignites a strong reaction, like it's traumatizing to be shifted into this, or else the idea of it is terrifying. You could be polar opposites. too far in, too far out, okay? And that's where the computer personality comes from too. Like, no, you can't show me the facts right here on Google. Okay, Google has facts. But you know what I mean? Like, they want proof right here. All right, crown. So this can be closed because the person had anger with God, spirit. I wasn't protected. This is a subconscious thing. Didn't protect me. Fuck him. He's not real. Why would he let a child get hurt? Right? Closed. Hang on, wait. Did I write crown? Oh, that was third eye and crown because they weren't directly connected. I put them together. So those two are actually pretty connected. Crown is not able to be open to information. And then third eye is the same thing. Both of those are intuition and connection. Oh, I always do this in every video. So, yeah, crown. Anger with God, disbelief in him, closed. God let me get hurt. God didn't save me, right? Third eye. Okay, psychic abilities, disconnected, closed because you can only pick up abuser. That's what makes you a super empath. I've already talked about that. Okay, so some of the signs I noticed from the predator I was starting to recognize. Though, like, I don't know why this was such a thing with the one I noticed. Well, the two, there was actually two. Would, like, tried to make a big scene about changing a girl's diaper. Tried to make a big scene about it. Like, I don't want to touch her vagina, and they're like 30. You're looking at them like an idiot. Like, it's not like they're gonna make you do things to them. Change the fucking diaper. That's a predator. Don't let them change a diaper, by the way. Don't do it. Don't do it. The child will scream. If they can't talk yet, they'll scream. They don't like this person. No. And it pisses this person off. They'll force the child to do things with them. And the predator, even if he's not around children at the time, always making really gross sexual abuse jokes. Like the one that I experienced, like an adult who didn't do it to me, he would just always make jokes that I knew the size of my father's penis. And I'd look at him like, do you think that's funny? I don't. But do you know the size of your father's penis? Did something go on there? These are signs, like, pay attention. I just got a sharp knife on my back. He probably heard me say that. If he's watching this video, probably. We need to start calling these people out and paying attention to them. They give you that creepy vibe. They're a little fucky in the head. Pay attention. If someone's favoring your child or favoring their stepchild too much or favoring your child too much and they're not supposed to, like, this is strange, they want to be alone with them, pay attention to the signs, guys. This video is very triggering. It's really long, and remember, I just want to reminisce with you again, do not address these people directly. They will flip the script on you. Because you are probably you would want to address them directly, they'll run and tell other people secrets they know about you. They'll start trashing your image so no one believes you, so you lose your credibility. Be quiet, get a counselor, seek a social worker for support, and take them to the clinic, get everything done. Seriously, intervene right now before you even address anyone. And then if everything turns out there is, get a lawyer or just get a protection order. Take it to court. Don't let this slide. We need to start getting these people held accountable because so many lives are fucked up and so many women are fighting for their children because of this. Okay? I hope this helps someone. Please don't address the predator directly. It puts your children in more danger. I'm praying for you guys. Okay, bye.